Very few indeed have come even this far. And yet your journey is far from over.
By ones who would cozen fate herself. They are the ones who created me. But they failed. Fate would not be bested, and men were cursed once again. Beyond the bonfire lies the Forest of the Giants, where a great battle precipitated the kingdom's downfall. The far gate is the entrance to Hade's Tower of Flame. Inside the giant pit live the tiny beings that were once man's friends. Over the hill and past the forest is the king's castle, where a man peered straight into the essence of the soul.
Fire came to be, and with it, disparity. And the brighter the flame, the deeper the shadow.
Until the curse touches our flesh. We are bound by this yoke. As true as the dark that churns within men. What do you want, truly?
We're live. Hello, everybody. My name is Jay Karchi. I'm the community manager at Bandai Namco Games America, and we have
Nick O'Leary, PR manager for Scholar of the First Sin.
Yes, and for other things too.
And other
Specifically
things.
today, we're here talking about Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. It's coming up for Xbox One,
Yep.
PS4, and DirectX 11 PCs.
Yep.
Also other platforms, but specifically we're talking about that. We are playing on PS4 today, and I think people can see the screen. We're going to say they probably can.
Yeah, sure.
So they can see the screen. So Nick, this game, we announced this game. There's a lot of confusion about what exactly it's all about. Like, what's the? Give us the elevator. You're a PR manager.
Sure,
give us the PR pitch, elevator pitch for this game. Tell us what it's about.
So Scholar of the First Sin is a brand
take
new.
control.
Here we go. Is a brand new Dark Souls 2 experience developed for the current generation of consoles.
Okay.
So that's PS4, Xbox One, and like I said, DirectX 11 PCs.
Uh-huh.
What that means is that you're going to see brand new enemy placement, new NPC locations, new item locations. Kind of create a new challenge for people who played Dark Souls 2 in the past.
Yeah.
And kind of want to experience again for their new consoles. It's also the most complete Dark Souls 2 package available. You'll get all 3 DLC maps as well.
All in one.
All in one. All for one price.
One price.
You're good.
Which right now we'll tell you. Obviously, it's going to be $59.99 on Xbox One.
Yep.
PS4. And once we get down to we have an FAQ that we put together today for everyone. We know it's been kind of confusing with the Steam stuff going on. We'll detail all the different tiers of pricing there. We'll be pretty straightforward about that. But first, we're taking a look at gameplay. I am going to travel towards Hade's Tower of Flame, and we're going to show off what's kind of different about this area. Since we are playing on a very special save file, we have all of the armor, all of the weapons unlocked.
You have
with
all the souls.
zero effort. We have all of the souls, you can see. Oh, we forgot to hide that, right? It doesn't matter.
They've seen it.
They've
It's too
seen
late.
it before. Too late. We're cheating in our own game. So I have the shadow mask and the shadow armor from these guys. You know what they're called? These guys that show up?
I believe they're just called Shadow Knights.
The first time you see these in Dark Souls 2, the original game, is after you beat the Flexile Sentry on New Game Plus, right?
Yes.
But in Scholar of the First Sin, Ooh, we have a Hide Knight right there. Scholar of the First Sin, they show up in the regular game,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll see them real fast.
So this is Hyde's Tower of Flame. Hade's
Yes.
Tower of Flame? I'm not even sure about the
We'll call
correct one.
Hades.
Hades? All right, so you'll see right away that there's some differences here. What is this guy doing here?
Exactly. That guy used to be in Force of the Fallen Giants,
Right.
and actually up ahead there's another one.
Yeah. So they have the same, right now they have the same interaction, right?
Yeah, right now they won't aggro until you attack them. They're
Right.
just sitting there hanging out by themselves. But later on, you can do something within this area to cause them to come out and walk around and kind of patrol the area.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't say we're the best Dark Souls players in the world, but we're pretty decent at the game, right?
I'm pretty good at it.
From the out of people in the office,
I'm
we're
pretty good.
decent.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Oh,
we're not great.
I'm sorry. In the office, yes, we're,
Yeah.
we're great.
Our coworkers are making fun of us patting
We're
ourselves
getting-
on the
yeah,
back
I
right now.
don't
That's
know like
okay.
this.
But when Dark Souls 2 was coming out,
Yes.
we were both super excited. We sit right across from each other. We
Mm-hmm.
were both super excited to get the. As soon we went to the QA, we're like, "Tell us, I'm dying as a fuck. Like, tell us
everything.
No, tell us when you have. Tell us when we can play. Tell us when you have a build that we
Mm-hmm.
can play." And then as soon as we did that, we went and played through blind, basically.
Yes.
We're coming out, David. What did you find? What did you do? How far did you get?
Yeah, and that was a pretty interesting experience just because from like Dark Souls 1, when we got working on that title, you knew some things were coming out, where enemy locations were,
Yeah.
and you know, playing it like everyone else does the
Yeah.
first day, and not knowing what anything does, where anything is,
Right.
what there's heading pathways. Which way did you go? I fought this boss. I haven't seen that boss yet.
So tell me, I'm playing, so I can just try to focus on this. Start talking about what's different in this area, and then what's
Sure.
kind of different overall in the game.
So in this area, the main difference are those Hyde's Knight, and as well as if you actually go back,
Go back.
take a quick U-turn and look up there. There's gonna be a dragon guarding the Blue Cathedral.
And he has a different move set than the normal dragons you find later. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he blows fire right away. We both don't know exactly how you're supposed to get past him right now. We'll try, but we're
I haven't
behind.
gotten.
I think my strategy is going to be you shoot an arrow at him, then he starts to fly, then you run up.
Yeah,
Because once
well-
you get close to him, you can
yeah.
kill him. But
Well, your strategy is what I told you to do. So
is it? I thought we maybe
you tried to just run up there.
it didn't work.
It didn't work. I said, why don't you shoot arrows and then live on stream you say.
It was okay,
what I
you're right.
did.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe these things I put
Nah,
together in my head.
whatever,
Like, no,
it's
that's me.
fine. No.
I'm really good at Dark Souls. I promise. I'm probably gonna pick this West. But we're in. Are we in new game or new game plus?
This is new game. This is when you start the game. This is what you're going to be able to see.
Right. So later on, we'll have the time for Fashion Souls. We'll take requests.
Of course.
Make your requests for different armors you want us to equip. We'll take a look. We have them all unlocked. So Nick's gonna equip his character, and he's gonna
Do a little
take
fashion
look.
show. Show you
Yeah.
guys what's up. Walk up and down that runway.
So
Whoa.
what else? So today we
He almost got
dead. So we talked earlier about a lot of people want to ask about Steam pricing. We'll talk about that.
Yep.
We have an FAQ we publish. What else? We have giveaways. Could you tell me what the giveaways are?
We were giving away copies of the game for Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
3 each?
I think 3 each.
Yeah.
And we have some posters, which should be right behind us.
Yep.
So one feature that I forgot to even write down in our list in this game is enemies chase you for longer.
Yeah, so one of the
Talk
different,
about
one of the differences is something that they couldn't, From Software couldn't do on the last generation is have these enemies
I'm just gonna run through this.
just constantly follow you. So if in the first game or in the last version of the game, one of your strategies was to kite enemies out,
Right.
have them come out to the area, hit them, go past where their patrol routes would end, and get them again. That's not going to work this time. They will follow you to the ends of the earth, and they will bring all their buddies along with them.
So are there or are there not new items and weapons in Scholar of the First Sin?
There are no new items
Yeah,
or
there are.
weapons. Well, there are. I'm sorry. Yes. Jeez. Okay.
Just saying there are.
Well, you get all the weapons and items from the DLC. So if you haven't played the DLC missions, you'll get that
Right,
stuff.
right,
There's also a new NPC invader called the Forlorn.
right.
And he has a chance to drop some of his armor and gear.
Yeah. Which we can't show you today because that's a secret.
Yes.
But we promised From Software wouldn't tell you that. But it is pretty cool. We just looked it up. We just checked it out earlier when we checked out the game. What are the Forlorn?
That's going to be something for players to find out. They are henchmen for the Scholar of the First Sin.
Okay. Now, I'm going to go kill the Dragon Rider real quick. Or after I kill this guy. And there's something that changes in this area after you kill the Dragon Rider.
Yeah, like
correct?
I said before, when you kill the Dragon Rider, these Hide Knights are going to start getting up and walking around.
And they're kind of a pain, right?
They have a very interesting moveset where you can't...
I think
unpredictable.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think they're harder than the original game.
They could be. There's also a few rebalancing parameters that From Software did on the weapons and kind of enemy behavior.
So maybe I just haven't played in a while.
Yeah, I also saw, I don't remember it being the last game, but a certain enemy showed up for me in the Lost Bastille that did a lot of different
and we'll talk about
moves.
that. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
What are some of the other differences? And I wrote them down, the ones that we didn't talk about. What about invaders and NPCs?
So, like I said, the invaders, or the NPC invaders that are in the game, there's a few more of them, and also they're going to be in different locations.
Right.
So the main goal for From Software was kind of make this game almost be kind of like you're going through it for the first time again. So you don't quite know what's around every corner. It could be the same thing, it could be nothing, it could be a whole new type of enemy that wasn't there before.
Right.
So they're kind of changed around, and also for summons, there are some new summon signs. So it tends to be either like choose or whoop. There you go.
I'm just so bad at killing these guys, and I don't parry well. And I'm sorry, you guys are all making fun of me. I'm supposed to be good at Dark Souls. Oh, there's a guy you can summon right there.
Yeah.
You probably noticed that on PS4 and Xbox 3 or PS4 and Xbox One. This game is running in 60 frames a second, 1080p.
Yes.
Which I hope you could tell on stream, but it looks beautiful. It looks so
Looks really good
compared to what it looked like before on consoles. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it looks better now.
Yeah, and it's taking advantage of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and the updated drivers for the DirectX 11.
So these guys are up and moving now.
Yeah, now
and
there you go.
Okay, just walk right up. So I would say the enemy placement. I'm going to give you the controller in a second so I can talk. Oh, my.
Oh, good. Right when
the tooltip for this weapon said it was fragile, and I didn't listen at all.
okay.
Okay, I'm going to hand you the controller.
All right.
So anyways, the new enemy placement.
Yes.
When we were talking about features for the game, people were like, oh, it has new enemy placement. That doesn't sound super appealing right away. On paper, it's like new enemy placement. Ooh, you move some enemies around.
It really does change the way your strategies are for these different areas.
Are you
like
going
these
to go
guys,
try the dragon?
I'm
Well,
going to try.
good luck.
Well, yeah.
You
try
can
to get to the dragon.
use your feather or something to get out of there if you want, or
Oh,
you
no,
don't have any pyromancy equipped.
Thanks, Jay.
But no problem. But new enemy placement, there's a lot of rebalancing that got done with the enemy placement. Like you put this guy here and you move this guy over here, and now the whole world's a little different. The whole balance of the game. Some places are easier to explore, some places are more difficult.
Yes.
And that definitely changes things.
Yes. Take, for instance, this place where you have these guys get me.
So, like, they obviously did not want you to fight Old Dragon Slayer
right
away.
Yeah.
Right.
The boss, there's definitely not supposed to be somewhere you want to go right off the bat.
Right. Okay, so Nick is going to play, and we're going to go check out the dragon. They'll move over to No Man's Wharf, right?
Yes.
And then while you start moving No Man's Wharf, I'll start to break down the FAQ to kind of give out some of the details some of the people were looking for. And I guess we can go through that now. So we talked about why From Software kind of made this game, right?
Yes.
We wanted to provide not just an all-in-one package, but kind of put everything back together, rebalance it all. So when will Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin be available? This is something that not everybody knows. April 7th on consoles.
Yes.
And when the game on Xbox 360 and PS3 is just the original game plus the DLC.
Original game plus DLC plus the content pack that went out in early February.
Right, which already happened, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a different experience. It's still good.
Yeah.
It's still, if you have PS3 360 and played yet, it's still a great time to jump in.
Yep.
But on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, April 7th, right? On Steam, it's different. The game's going to go live April 1st at 3 p.m. Pacific.
Yes.
Is what I've been told.
That's what I've been told.
So that's what we're sticking to.
Yes.
So that's next Wednesday at 3 p.m.
Correct.
Okay. So, talk to some of the differences.
And one of the other differences that we've got to mention is the multiplayer. So,
okay.
The multiplayer count for number of players has gone up for Scholar of the First Sin, for Xbox, for the new gen versions.
Yeah.
So now it'll be 6 players.
Yeah.
Which means,
Which means you can summon up to 3 friendly phantoms in
yes.
your game.
And
so you and 3 buddies
yes.
can go, which just seems like it's crowd. It's the screenshots we've seen. Everything's just all over the place. It's chaotic. It's whatever.
And then 2 invaders can enter your game as well.
Right.
And mess things up.
So on Steam, there's going to be 2 different versions of Dark Souls 2.
Yes.
The DirectX 9 version, DirectX 11 version. Tonight, I'm publishing an FAQ that has the system requirements for everything, so the recommended specs. Some people have asked about their saves carrying over, like why it's split.
Yeah.
And the reasoning is that Scholar of the First Sin is a completely different experience.
Yes.
Sure, there's only some things that have changed, but like items are in different spots.
Yep.
There's some map things that have moved.
Yes.
So the games can't really connect with each other because, first of all, they can't connect multiplayer. Second of all, you can't just move your save over because it's not they're not compatible.
They're not compatible, yeah. You're going to have items in different places. The games won't be able to sync up with each other. And then for multiplayer, outside of just having 2 extra players, you're going to have different enemy groups, so the game's it's not the same game.
Yeah.
So it's not going to.
And we understand it's kind of a weird situation. No other games really do that.
Yeah.
But that's the way this is the way it's going.
Yep.
We're excited for people. If you love Dark Souls 2, you love that experience. You want to play it again on next gen. It's a fun. I was just playing this past week. It's a fun experience to go back through.
Yes.
And we understand that maybe it's not for everybody. If you played Dark Souls 2, you liked it, and you're moving on, then okay, maybe this one's not for you. But it is a cool package that we put together, we think.
I think if you are even remotely interested in games, you owe it to yourself.
You owe it to yourself.
At least check it out. Treat yourself to Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First.
On Steam, there's going to be 2 separate Steam store pages, and they'll be custom built out, and they'll have warnings like, oh my gosh, please don't buy this if you wanted to buy the other version. So that should be pretty detailed, like when everything goes up on the 1st. We talked about, okay, so here's the cost. That's what everybody's waiting for. Scholar of the First Sin will be $59 Xbox One, PS4. If you want to buy the game on Steam, the DirectX 9, so the older version of Scholar of the First Sin, is going to be $39.99, so $40, right? Yep. The newer version, the DirectX 11 version, is going to be $49.99, so $50, right? Okay, and that includes all the DLC and everything, brand new experience. I think it's a good deal. So if you are upgrading, if you already own Dark Souls 2, so here's the dragon.
So here's the dragon. I'm not
you're getting pretty. You got pretty close to him though. Oh, nice.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
We also are leveled up a bit for this area. Oh,
yeah, but you're probably still gonna die.
I'm gonna fall off this way.
You just ran right up there. I guess that's how you do it.
I guess my tactic. I still think my tactic of arrows will work.
So, anyways, sorry, got interrupted. A very important point. Sorry, if you're upgrading, if you own Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, or no, if you own Dark Souls 2 on Steam with no DLC, and you want to get Scholar of the First Sin, it'll cost you $29.99.
Yes.
So $30.
Yep.
So you get a $10 discount.
Yes.
And then if you own Dark Souls 2 and the Season Pass or all the DLC, so if you own everything already and you want Scholar of the First Sin, it'll be, you died.
But I also
it'll be,
I don't know if he's going to show up.
It'll be $19.99. This is very important. So, let me go through this one more time. Scholar of the First Sin DirectX 9 version, $39.99. Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin DirectX 11 version, $49.99. If you're upgrading from just the base game to the DirectX 11 version, $29.99. And if you own Dark Souls 2 plus all the DLC, it's $19.99. And those are US dollar American prices. Those are prices for North America, South America. In Europe, we can't comment on.
Yeah, we don't have the.
This pricing chart will be published tonight or tomorrow morning. I have the FAQ. I'll write it all up. We'll put it on Steam forums. We'll put it on Facebook and on Twitter. so everyone can see it. Put it out there.
Yep.
We know there's been a lot of questions and we haven't been able to answer them all.
Yeah.
We're just glad to get it all out there right now.
Yeah, we're not. People don't have to rebuy the game for the full price if they already own the game. They can.
Correct. Correct. You do get a slight discount. And
Yeah.
how that all works in Steam, I think it's all set up properly. It'll be fine.
That's Steam,
I've been told it's all set up properly on Steam. But I'm excited. What I'm really excited is people who didn't pick up Dark Souls because it was on PS3 360. They're like, I already threw that console away. I picked up Xbox One.
Yeah.
And have never played it before and get the whole kind of package again. 60 frames a second, it just looks so good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Will you change your armor?
Sure. Let me go to this bonfire
the shadow stuff's getting
before...
Okay, so I'm going to start moving to questions.
Okay.
Actually, what time are we looking at? So we are going to take a quick break. We're going to drop your questions in the chat. I'll try. I haven't been paying attention to chat. We'll go take a look at that, and then we'll start answering fan questions when we come back.
Sure.
And we'll also put in requests for any armor sets you want to see. We'll start putting those armor on. Good. All right. We'll be back in a few minutes. Cascade, are we good?
Beyond the scope of light, beyond the reach of dark, what could possibly await? And yet we seek it, insatiable. Such is our fate. Succumb to the flame. Still another slumbers in the realm of light. Not one of them stood here as you do. Very few indeed have come even this far. And yet your journey is far from over.
By ones who would cozen fate herself. They are the ones who created me. But they failed. Fate would not be bested, and men were cursed once again. Beyond the bonfire lies the forest of the giants, where a great battle precipitated the kingdom's downfall. The far gate is the entrance to Hade's Tower of Flame. Inside the giant pit live the tiny beings that were once man's friends. Over the hill and past the forest is the king's castle, where a man peered straight into the essence of the soul.
Fire came to be, and with it, disparity. And the brighter the flame, the deeper the shadow.
until the curse touches our flesh. We are bound by this yoke. As true as the dark that churns within men. What do you want, truly?
We good? Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for blowing up our Twitch chat. There's plenty of questions, and I guess a couple things that we'll just come out and address right away.
Sure.
From what I understand, from reports of people online, and from what I've experienced, I think the durability degradation on PC is different than it is on consoles.
Oh, okay.
And the Scholar of the First Sin, from what I understand, is will have parity between from console to console, PC to PC.
Okay.
In terms of if that's going to change or not, it's something we could start to push again to look into.
Yeah.
When we brought it up before, it was something that From Software chose to leave the way it was. And so we, as a community manager, I think we can
Sure.
explore a little bit further for you and try to look into it. So thank you for that. In terms of, what was the other question people had? Durability, and then a lot of people are asking different questions about like if the game's going to be a lot different. It's the same.
It's the same base game, so it's the same areas, the same.
Right.
There's no new areas. There's no new